You know, especially this time of year, I think that's to be expected. So, you know, I just, you know, it's pretty simple. If you win, you feel pretty good. When you don't feel so good, and that's good enough for us right now.
How do you keep your team grounded at this point, or is it a challenge at all?
Yeah, I think, you know, just the things we talked about, that BCS stat, that's the only reason I looked it up. I'll share it with the team. That's pretty telling. And, you know, the other thing I think all of us need to remember, I mean, we're not even halfway through our conference play yet as a team. So, I mean, we have such a long road ahead of us right now. It's natural for people to talk about it, think about it, but, you know, the best way for us to get anywhere is to try to take care of this week, and that's about all we can handle right now.
Well, that said, I'm sure they're going on campus, getting pats on the back, free beverages, and their families are calling, telling them they're going to go to the national title game and all that. I mean, how do you bring them in and just share with them things like, hey, here's the film from Arkansas State? So,
well, I mean, yeah, we can just look at last week's film. There's plenty off that thing to correct, and you know, that's. But the good thing, it's a little bit like winning on the road. We have I think a fairly veteran football team, so that's a starting point. You know, we talk about these things year round about how you're going to handle, you know, praise, how you're going to handle adversity or challenges, those types of things. And but it's usually the message is better received typically with more veteran guys, and then those guys are can be a little bit more vigilant in terms of keeping everybody on the right page. I think, you know, because there's so much that goes on away from this building. But it's a mindset, and, you know, I said this after the Penn State game. It's usually tougher to deal with, you know, some success than it is a tough outing.
Shifting gears from the BCS talk, and you had talked before about, you know, thinking the offense was on a path where it was going to improve, and certainly we saw what Tony could do last week. How important is he to, I guess, that the offense continuing to progress as the season wears on?
I mean, he's a marquee player, and you know, historically we haven't had a lot of those. But we have, I guess. But you know, when we have them, it sure helps. You know, and it's not the end all or be all, but you know, when you have a guy like that that can contribute in a special way, it's a real advantage. Sean Green did that a year ago for us. You know, Gallery did it in his own way. Kading, Brad Banks, you know, go right down the list. So you know, we've been lucky. We've had Dallas Clark. We've had 5 guys that nationally acclaimed for doing what they did. And, I don't know if Tony will be recognized in that way. It really doesn't matter, but you know, he as a player, he can do that for you. So, you know, when you have a good team and then you add a couple guys like that really can give you some extra octane out there. And you know, I think last 2 weeks we've certainly seen how he can impact the game. And then, as I've said before too, there are a lot of things that maybe aren't as visible that, you know, you're not going to notice that he's helping us out either through blocking or the attention he draws. It might help open up some other receivers, and that's, you know, those are all positives. So it's, you know, when you have a guy that's a good player who plays well, you know, it's one thing to be a good player, but he plays well consistently. It really helps you.